Okay, to begin with, you have to check the discontinuity of this function where f of x is equal to x plus 1 if x is greater than or equal to 1 and x square plus 1 if x is less than 1. I want the answer for this question. Whether it is continuous everywhere, whether it is continuous everywhere. Okay. So before you actually, whatever you have written by the long method. I'll give you the cases is there. Yes. Okay. Obviously, there will be cases. There is three cases. Okay. So which are those three cases? So first case is for C greater than 1 and second case is for C less than 1 and third case is at C is equal to 1. Okay, till yesterday's session, till previous session, what we used to do for C greater than 1 also we used to check each and every step, that is out of three definitions or three conditions which we have to verify. The first one is f of C exists and second one is limit of f of x as x tends to C exist. And the third condition which we were supposed to verify was to check whether both are equal. Okay, so now since you know certain things that polynomial function is always continuous, correct? Polynomial function is always continuous. This thing you know, right? Polynomial function is always continuous. Similarly, you know constant function is continuous, correct? You also know that constant function is continuous. And then you know identity function is continuous. So whenever you find any these of, okay, so if you okay, so whenever you find any of these three functions without checking these three conditions, directly you can say that the function is continuous. So here if you see the first case, let's C greater than 1. Okay, let's C greater than 1. Then what is f of x? Which value I have to take, which definition I have to use for f of x if C is greater than 1, the first one or the second one? The first one. So that is f of x is x plus 1. What is x plus 1? What is x plus 1, students? Isn't it is a polynomial function? Isn't this a polynomial function? Yes. So, okay. So you know that polynomial function is continuous. So directly you can write that f of x is continuous. F of x is continuous. Whatever the method you have done is absolutely right. So in case just for if the question is just for 3 marks or something like that, you don't have to go for a long procedure. Okay. So you can write f of x is continuous as f of for C greater than, for x greater than 1, for x greater than 1, since why? Because f of x is a polynomial function and polynomial function is always continuous. F of x is polynomial function. Okay, polynomial function. Whatever you have written is correct, students. Polynomial function and polynomial function is always continuous. Okay, polynomial function is always continuous. Is always continuous. Okay, this thing if you write it is enough. If the entire question is for 3 marks, because you are discussing 3 cases, 1 mark for each, like if it is for 2 marks then you can do this. If it is 3 marks then you have to discuss the cases properly. Okay, so now second one, if C is less than 1, okay, if your C is less than 1, then what is f of x? What is f of x? Which definition I have to use for f of x? Second definition, that is x square plus 1. Again, what is f of x? Isn't it a polynomial function? Isn't it a polynomial function? Yes, it is a polynomial function. Polynomial ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು? ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು x square plus 1 ಅಥವಾ x plus 1 ಅಥವಾ x cube plus x square plus 1. These are nothing but polynomial functions. Okay, so this is a polynomial function. So you can write since polynomial function is continuous, for C for x less than 1 also f of x is continuous. just short agi bariyodadre matra. Okay, if you write the procedure, it is well and good. Okay students, but you should know both the ways. Eradu kuda ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. You should know how to apply the definition, and you should be smart enough to apply the things which we have studied. Okay, so fine student, just to identify, because you need this kind of identification for some of the exams, so that's why I'm telling the second method also. Okay, so now which case you have to discuss in detail? Only the third case, that is at c is equal to 1. Only this case you have to discuss properly. So what is f of 1? What is f of 1? What is f of 1 students? What is f of 1? It is 2. Okay, so then should we go for left hand limit and right hand limit? Should we have to like verify left hand limit and right hand limit in this question? Yes. Why? Because 1 in a immediate left ಅಲ್ಲಿ function change ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, 1 in a immediate right ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ function change ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, correct? So you have to go for left hand limit and right hand limit. So left hand limit will be limit of f of x as x tends to 1 from the left. So which definition you have to apply when you are moving from left? Which definition you have to apply students? Left anta helidre value is less than 1. Okay, left anta helidre value is less than 1. So ಯಾವ definition use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Which definition you have to use? The second one. Good. So it is x square plus 1 as x tends to 1 from the left, which is approximately equal to 1 square plus 1, which is 2. Okay, so then right hand limit is limit of f of x, okay, as x tends to 1 from the right, which is equal to limit of, here you have to use the first definition, because right anta helidre the value of x is greater than 1, which means you have to use the first one, x plus 1 as x tends to 1 from the right, which is approximately equal to 2. So since you can see left hand limit and right hand limit are equal, which means limit exists and the limiting value is equal to 2. Okay, and the limiting value is equal to 2, and the function at that particular value is also 2. So function is continuous even at x is equal to 1. So the function is continuous everywhere. Okay, so the function is continuous everywhere. Okay, next question. This, what about this one? Second one, whether this is continuous everywhere. What about this one, students? What about the second one? What about the second one? No point is discontinuous. It is continuous everywhere. Is it true? Okay. Why? Because clearly you can see that for x less than 2, it is a polynomial function, so it is continuous. For x greater than 2 also, it is polynomial function, so it is continuous. Method madidre adu correct. Okay, whatever method you have done, which I had told you, that is correct, students. Okay, I'm just a procedures innu bariyodakoskara ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. Whatever the procedure you have written, you have to write that, but just when we discuss, we can discuss it in this way also. Okay, so for x less than 2 also, it is a polynomial function, so it is continuous. For x greater than 2, it is a polynomial function, so it is continuous. You just have to verify at x equal to 2. So what is f of 2? Which definition you have to use for f of 2? The first one or the second one? ಯಾವ definition use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? First one, right? X less than or equal to 2 ಆದರೆ x cube minus 3. So first one use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So it is 2 cube minus 3. 2 cube is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay. So we have to go for left hand limit and right hand limit also. Okay. If you see this is 2 to the left of 2. 2 ginta kadime idre the function is x cube minus 3. If it is greater than 2, then the function is x square minus plus 1. So left hand limit is You are approaching 2 from the left. Andre 2 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ x tends to 2 from the left, that is limit of what is f of x? X cube minus 3 as x tends to 2 from the left, which is approximately equal to 2 cube minus 5, which is 2 cube minus 3, which is 5. So check what is right hand limit. That is, you are approaching 2 from the right. Okay, you are approaching 2 from the right. Andre right ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ values? It is greater than 2. Okay, greater than 2 ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ the function is the second case you have to take. Correct, you have to take the second case. So it is 2 plus is equal to limit of x square plus 1 as x tends to 2 from the right, which is approximately equal to 2 square plus 1, which is 5. So left hand limit is equal to right hand limit, therefore limit exists. So limit is equal to limit f of x as x tends to 2 is equal to 5. So from 1 and 2, you can see that the function is continuous at x is equal to 2. Since it is already continuous at x greater than 2 and x less than 2, the function is continuous everywhere. The function is continuous everywhere. Okay. Answer sikta elrigo? Did everyone get the answer? Yes. Okay. Next question. So this was the last question which was given as homework, right? This was the last question. Okay. Okay. So now again you have, if you have done the method, that is correct. Just nana method puna bariyudakoskara nanu I'll just explain why it is continuous. Again, if x is less, here also you have to go for 3 cases: x less than 1, x greater than 1, and x equal to 1. X less than 1, it is a polynomial function, so it is continuous. X greater than 1, it is a polynomial function, so it is greater than it is continuous. What about at x is equal to 1? Whether it is continuous or not? At x is equal to 1, limit does not exist, so it is not continuous at c is equal to 1. Good Almaz, good Nur Fatima, good Nitya Lakshmi. So we'll see what happens to the limit. Okay, before going into the limit, we have to find what is f of 1. What is f of 1? Which definition I have to use, students? Which definition I have to use? What is f of 1? The first one or the second one? The first definition I have to use. So it is 1 to the power 10 minus 1. What is 1 to the power 10? What is 1 to the power 10? It is 1. 1 to the power any finite value is always 1. Okay, remember this. 1 to the power any finite value is always equal to 1. So it is 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So now you have to check for the left hand limit. Left hand limit is, you are approaching 1 from the left. Okay, you are approaching 1 from the left. So that is limit of f of x as x tends to 1 from the left. So 1 from the left hand ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, the value you are taking is less than 1. So limit of, when it is less than 1, you have to use the first definition, that is x to the power 10 minus 1 as x tends to 1 from the left, which is approximately equal to 1 power 10 minus 1, which is 0. Now find what is right hand limit. So right hand limit ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? You are approaching the function from the right. From the right andre the value of x is greater than 1. Okay, value of x is, can anyone tell me what is RHL? What do you get as the value for RHL? So it is x square, x tends to 1 from the right. It is 1. So you can see that left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore, limit f of x as x tends to 1 does not exist. Okay, does not exist. So the function is not continuous, or a function is discontinuous. Function is discontinuous at x is equal to 1. The function is discontinuous at x is equal to 1. whereas function is continuous for x greater than 1 and x less than 1. Only at x is equal to 1 it is discontinuous. So we'll move on to the next question. So everyone got the answers for the homework question, right? Whatever you have done, is it right? Yes. Did you find any mistakes in your answers? Did you find any mistakes? If you have found, just correct it. Okay. If you have not found, then it is very good. Okay. There was a mistake. Okay. That's fine. If you had a mistake, that is fine. At least you have tried, right? That's fine. Okay. Then we'll continue. So this is your next question. Sorry. This is your next question. So what they have told, again you have to find the discontinuity itself. Okay, so function is defined as f of x is equal to mod x divided by x if x is not equal to 0 and it is 0 if x is equal to 0. Okay, so ಈಗ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೇಸಸ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? How many cases you can see over here when you see? 2, but actually it is not 2 students, it is 3. Why? Because ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ x not equal to 0 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ x not equal to 0, it is discontinuous. Where it is discontinuous, Chandini? It is discontinuous ಅಂತ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ Chandini. Where it is discontinuous, can you give me the exact point? Okay, so others you listen. So x not equal to 0. X not equal to 0 means x can be greater than 0 or x can be less than 0. Correct? X can be greater than 0 or x can be less than 0. Okay, fine. So now, if x is greater than 0, okay, that is x is a positive value. If x is greater than 0, the function is mod x divided by x. Correct? The function is mod x divided by x because for x not equal to 0, the function is x mod x divided by x. X 0 ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0 ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? They have defined it as mod x divided by x. So x greater than 0 means it is also not equal to 0. So some value which is not equal to 0 but which is positive. But when x is greater than 0, what is mod x? What is mod x? When x is greater than 0, what is mod x, students? When x is greater than 0, what is mod x? It is x. Good, Subramanya. Because we know the definition of mod x. Mod x is x if x is greater than or equal to 0 and it is minus x if x is less than 0. Okay. So x divided by x ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? What is x by x? What is x by x? What is x by x, students? It is 1. So when x greater than 0, your function is reduced. If your function is simplified to, it is equal to 1. Okay, f of x is 1. Now, if x is less than 0, if your x is less than 0, then what is f of x? Again, f of x is mod x divided by x, correct? F of x is mod x divided by x. But x 0 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗ mod x ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? What happens to mod x? It is minus x. Good, students. So it is minus x divided by x. So what we'll get? Minus x by x is minus x by x is minus 1. Good, you're very good. Okay, so now okay, so if x is greater than 0, f of x is 1. If x is less than 0, f of x is minus 1. So now your function can be written as f of x is equal to 1 if x is greater than 0, minus 1 if x is less than 0, and 0 if x is equal to 0. Can I write it in this way? The same function, can I write it in this way, students? ಹೀಗೆ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? Are you understanding why I have written it in this form? How I have written? 3 steps, yeah. So now your function is 3 steps. So how many cases you have to check? So how many cases you have to check, students? 3 cases. So which are those 3 cases? X greater than 0, x less than 0 and x equal to 0. Okay, so we'll write these things. x greater than 0. So now your function is f of x is equal to 1 if x is greater than 0. It is minus 1 if x is less than 0, and it is 0 if x is equal to 0. Okay. So before going into the what your procedures and all, just in case if these kind of questions comes in some CET or something like that, you can observe this using graph also, whether it is continuous or not. So this is 0, 1, minus 1, minus 2, 1, 2. So it is 1, this is minus 1. So when x, this is x value, this is f of x value. Okay. This is x value, this is f of x value. So when x is greater than 0, okay, when x is greater than 0, what is f of x? What is f of x, students? What is f of x? When x is greater than 0, what is f of x? It is 1. So for any x greater than 0, f of x is 1. If x is less than 0, what is f of x? You can see the graph. I have drawn this. I have made a hole over here. Okay. I have made a hole. Okay. 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 So if x is less than 0, it is minus 1. Correct. If x is less than 0, it is minus 1. For x is equal to 0, it is 0. So by looking at the graph, what you can say, whether it is a continuous graph or is it not continuous? Just by looking at the graph, what you can say? It is continuous or not? It is discontinuous because graph hege agtide illinda illige elita ideni. Here there is a gap, or here there is a jump. Idu break agtide, graph break agtide, correct? Again here I have to continue. Just by looking at the graph also you can say that this is a discontinuous function. Yes, it is not touching, it is not continuing. Okay. So where it is discontinuous, elli break agtide, yava point alli break agtide, at which point it is, see how, see, I am drawing this till at x is equal to 0, it is breaking. Good, students. You are identifying. 0 the place ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇದೆ ಹೌದಾ? 0 ಗಿಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ 1 ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. 0 ಗಿಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದಾಗ -1 ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0 ದ ಹತ್ರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Correct? At 0 the function is breaking. So this function is discontinuous. Where it is discontinuous? Where it is discontinuous, students? Where it is discontinuous? At x is equal to 0. See, your work is so easy. So if you are going for your procedure, what you have to do, for let c greater than 0. Okay, c greater than 0. What is f of x? F of x is 1. What kind of function it is? What kind of function it is? At c greater than 0, what is this? What kind of function is this, students? What is a function for c greater than 0? It is a, is it a polynomial function? It is a constant function. Correct? Constant function anta helidre ene x value tagondru change agodilla. Correct? It is a constant function. It's fine. Okay, you're trying, right? It is fine. So f of c is 1. So this is a constant function. What do we know about constant function? What do we know about constant function? We know something about constant function. What it is? You people know something about constant function. It is continuous. Constant function is always continuous. Correct? So c greater than 0, the function is continuous. Okay. Now case 2, c less than 0. What is f of c? What is f of c? For c less than 0, what is f of c, students? What is f of c? It is -1. Correct? So what it is? What kind of function this is? What kind of function is this? For any value of c, it is -1. Yene c kottru -1 bartade. Again, this is a constant function. So it is continuous. Good. So again, it is a constant function. So it is continuous. So for c greater than 0 and c less than 0, the function is continuous. Okay, now c equal to 0. So c equal to 0. What is f of 0? What is f of 0, students? What is f of 0? It is 0. Ille idiyala x 0 adaga function is 0. Okay. So now you have to find what is LHL, what is RHL. Okay, you have to find what is LHL and RHL at x is equal to 0. So it is limit of f of x as x tends to 0 from the left. So that is limit of what is f of x when we are approaching 0 from the left. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದೀವಿ 0 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ f of x ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ -1 ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So f of x can be replaced by -1. So 1 0 from the left, which is -1. Limit of a constant is, what is limit of a constant function? What is the limit of a constant? What is limit of a constant? It is constant itself. Good. It is constant itself. So we get it is equal to -1. So what do we get as RHL? What do we get as RHL? Just check. F of x, x tends to +1 will get. Good students. So we'll get f of x. Right in the ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ x value greater than 0. So it is limit 1 as x tends to 0 from the right. So which is 1. So whether left hand limit is equal to right hand limit? Is left hand limit equal to right hand limit, students? No. So what does that mean? If left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit, adre yen artha? What do you mean by that? Discontinuous is final. Before that, left hand limit and right hand limit equal alla andre limit does not exist. Correct? Limit does not exist. Okay, and hence the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 0. So the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 0. See, you got same answer, right? Just by looking at the graph also you identified that the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 0. Even after going through the steps also you got the same answer. Okay, so we'll move to the next question. Can we move to the next question? Okay, so we'll move to the next question. Okay, this I think you can take homework. This I think you can take as a homework question. This is very simple. Okay, take a screenshot of this question. Take this as homework. If you have taken the screenshot, just type yes. Then madida hage same questions. Okay, okay. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay. Okay. So we'll try to solve this question. So what the question says, you have to check the discontinuity of the function. Okay, you have to check the discontinuity of the function where it is f of x is equal to mod x plus 3. Okay, f of x is equal to mod x plus 3 if x is less than or equal to -3, and it is -2x if x is lies in between -3 and 3. Okay, and then we have it is 6x plus 2 if x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so before actually thinking whether it is continuous or not, we'll just simplify our question. Okay, we'll just, yeah, this is an important question. Okay, okay, fine. So x less than or equal to -3. Okay, x less than or equal to -3, which means if x is less than or equal to -3, what does that mean? The value of x is negative, right? X less than or equal to -3 andre x in value -3 ginta kadime andre negative values namige bartade. Correct? Is it correct, students? The first definition, first form. Okay, so when x is negative, okay, when x is negative, what is mod x? When x is negative, what is mod x? When x is negative, is it positive or negative? It is okay. What is mod x? How we define mod x? Mod x is -x if x is less than 0, it is x if x is greater than or equal to 0. Correct? So x less than minus 3 andre, obviously it is less than 0. Correct? X less than or equal to minus 3 means that implies obviously x is less than 0 also. Correct? Is it true? Okay. So now if x is less than 0, mod x is what? What is mod x? Mod x is minus x, correct? If x is less than 0, mod x is minus x. So this mod x, I'll replace it by minus x plus 3 if x is less than or equal to minus 3. Have you understood this? Did you understand this? Okay. Okay, fine. So the second one you write as it is, minus 2x if x lies in between minus x less than 3, and it is 6x plus 2 if x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll repeat it again. See, what they have told, if x is less than or equal to minus 3, f of x is mod x plus 3. Okay, but what we know, if x is less than minus 3, obviously it is less than 0, correct? If x is less than minus 3 means ಅದು 0 ಗಿಂತನೂ ಕಡಿಮೆನೇ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. So 0 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ what happens to mod x? Mod x becomes minus x. This definition we know, right? Mod x is equal to minus x. So what I have done, instead of mod x, I have replaced it by minus x. Okay, instead of mod x, I have replaced it by minus x. Okay, that's why my definition of the function is bit modified. Okay, so that it will be easy for me. Instead mod ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Therefore I have modified it. So it is minus x plus 3. Rest two conditions I have rest two of the forms I have written as it is. Okay, so now what does that mean? F of x is minus x plus 3 if x is less than or equal to minus 3, which means minus infinity in the 3 tanka. Okay, minus infinity in the 3 tanka, f of x is minus x plus 3. In between that, in between minus 3 and 3, the function is defined as 2x. Why I have written open bracket? Because it is strictly less than. Okay, it is strictly less than, which means the end points should not be included. Inequality strict agidre end points include madlikilla. That's why I have written it as open interval. Okay, so then what you have to check? You have to check for f of x is equal to 6x plus 2 if x is greater than or equal to 3, which means you are including 3 till infinity. 3 in the infinity tanaka, the function is 6x plus 2. Okay, now you have to check whether this function is continuous or not. Okay, whether this function is continuous or not. So how many cases you have to check, students? How many cases you have to check? How many cases you have to check? Is it 3 cases? Is it 3? Just check properly. Okay, one thing you have to check is if c is less than minus 3. Okay, first thing you have to check is case 1 is c less than minus 3. Okay, case 2 it might be c greater than 3. Okay, case 3 is you have to check at c is equal to minus 3, and case 4 at c is equal to 3. Okay, and case 5, yes, good Sahana has got 5 points where we have to check. So case 5 is in between 3 and minus 3. Okay, in between 3 and minus 3. Okay, in between 3 and minus 3 also you have to check. So this is your task. Just try to work it out because we have only 1.5 minutes. Okay, just try this question. Okay, I'll explain this question in the next class. You just try this question. You have to check 5 cases. C less than minus 3, c greater than 3, at c is equal to minus 3, c is equal to 3, and c in between minus 3 and 3. Just try this. Okay, just try this. And one more question, you can take it as homework, which is similar to whatever we had discussed in the previous slide. Okay, this thing you can take a screenshot. Okay. Have you taken the screenshot? This one and this one you try. This one I need the answer. Okay, this is similar. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay.